with the Mirror newspaper. The Mirror newspaper. And on the front page of the Mirror newspaper, hold on, let me put this right by me. Okay, great. Front page of the Mirror newspaper, Salassi Ibrahim, a force behind African cinema. Other stories you'll find, Dosh Insurance partners MTN Momo for digital health insurance. Next of kin does not grant inheritance rights. That's according to a lawyer. Next of kin does not grant inheritance rights. That's according to a lawyer. On the back page, the Mirror Sport, history beckons at Doma as Aduana FC hosts Hearts of Oak. All right. I have the Spectator, your weekend companion. Some of the stories on the front page, hustle and bustle in Accra ahead of Christmas. And they also have where to be on Christmas on page 14. On the back page of the Spectator Sports, Goodwill Sports Ambassador Ray Kweku at 90, celebration of dedicated service to Ghana sports. And Aduana's FC's lead under threat as Hearts come to town. Other stories, Daily Graphic, Weekend Special. Let's unite our people, Bokonaba to Mamprugu Overlord. And other stories, Mahama calls for United African Front. Onuya TV explodes with Onuya Showtime Reloaded. You'll find that on the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. On the back page, Sports Today, a gallant defeat, why the Black Galaxies deserve more than last-minute faith. I have the Daily Guide newspaper. Some of the stories you'll find on the Daily Guide. Government renames 3 universities, and government relays enhanced lithium agreement. Wait, let me say that again. Government relays enhanced lithium agreement. Where you put the stress is very important. Government relays enhanced lithium agreement. There's a picture of Emmanuel Amakufibwa over there. Parliament approves 357 billion Ghana cedis for 2026. Other stories, soldier grabbed for illegal arms deals, and that story is on page 6. Police arrests 33, impound 45 motorbikes in Kaswa. And on the back page of Daily Guide, so Daily Guide Sports, Parliament passes Ghana Sports Fund Bill. Henry honored with Lifetime Achievement Award, and that's Thierry Henry, who poses with the award. Sports Personality of the Year, BBC. He won that this year. Brandon Thomas Asante targets trophies and bigger role with Black Stars, and FIFA Pro, or FIF Pro, warns of financial insecurity facing majority of women footballers. That's a story I'd like to get into with the sports guys later on. All right, let's go on to our portals and see what they are reporting. I'm on ChannelOneNews.com. Some of the stories you'll find on ChannelOneNews.com. COCOBOD defends suspension of Cocoa Road projects, cites unapproved 26 billion Ghana cedis contract. 3 injured in Adidome crash. Minority will always stand with Ghanaians and the Constitution. That's according to Minority Leader Penyo Markin. Otumfo blames chiefs, state agencies for Owabe Dam encroachment. And Parliament approves amendment bill renaming Amstead to another name. Okay. Other stories, Nyasingbe, he mentioned that diaspora is key to Africa's development. Other stories you'll find on ChannelOneNewsOnline.com. John Kuma's widow, Lillian, remarries. Mahama, Africa is reclaiming its story, dignity, and future. Protect Youth reports drug dealers narcotic appeals to Ghanaians. Education Ministry donates 20 vehicles to colleges of education nationwide. And the FDA in the Ashanti region, they have shut down 7 Chinese shops over unregistered food products. Okay, let's quickly jump to citynewsroom.com. Some of the stories you'll find on citynewsroom.com. Parliament approves renaming of CK Tedam University. Other top stories on our portal. Ayariga, there's no attempt to gag minority. Widow of late John Kuma remarries. Apanyamarkin, I'll serve my full term in ECOWAS Parliament. Minority will defend constitution and the people, Apanyamarkin says so. Encroachment on Tema wetland raises health and flood risks. Asantehene rejects proposal to include Queen Mothers in House of Chiefs sittings. And Parliament approves name change of Simon Didong Dombo University. Police arrest 33, impound 45 motorbikes in Kaswa Soup. And at the Diaspora Summit, our president said, let's be more intentional about our unity. If you come further down, top trending stories on citynewsroom.com. Asantehene chiefs must lead development, not rely on politicians. COCOBOD defends Cocoa Road project suspension, cites 26 billion Ghana city exposure. Nyasingbe, reparatory justice crucial for Africa's development and global equity. And more OMCs drop pump prices ahead of Christmas as fuel costs ease. Let's move to GhanaWeekend.com. Some of the stories you'll find on our entertainment portal. Wiz Khalifa sentenced to 9 months in Romanian prison for smoking on stage. How do you go and smoke on stage knowing other people's rules and regulations? I mean, don't they read the laws of the countries they go to perform? But anyway, so he's found himself in prison for 9 months. Burna Boy earned spot on Barack Obama's 2025 favorite music list. Obi Amponsa, I'm passionate about comedy, and he has a comedy show this Christmas. So if you're interested in that, you can go and watch that. Content creator Carter Efe tops Africa's Twitch chart after Davido live stream. Perez music, gospel music is about the message, not recognition. Perez again, it's about the message. He's talking about his collaborations with what we term as secular music artists. Anyway, don't miss Situation All White Party. You won't regret it. That's according to Perez Music. Akwaba says, love is the heart of my music. Kenke and Seafood Charity Dinner. Ooh, a feast of compassion for autistic children. And R2B's unveiled double single release, Tutu and Erade Aye. And Anama McBrown, I'm divorced and happy. Fancy Gadam slams Gamro over insulting 123 Ghana City royalty payment. And Wendy Shea eyes TGMA Artiste of the Year after electrifying BYK performance. Other stories, Sharon Dede Paddy shatters Guinness World Record with monumental leaf print. And there's another story of Nanama, but it's still the same one. All right. I think we can go into some of the stories briefly. They say I shouldn't do hard stories on Saturday, but all the stories I'm seeing, okay. Hold on. Let me start with The Spectator, then I'll come to The Mirror and do Salassi Ibrahim, a force behind African cinema. Okay, so I was talking about the traffic in Accra, and I'm sure you've all at least experienced it. Even last night, when we left the office around 9 p.m., there was still traffic. Adam, where are you people going? What are you people coming into town to go and sleep? This Saturday morning, Achimota is choked. Where are you going? Tell me so that means I'll go some, because I don't understand it. Where are you going? There's so much traffic in town. What's happening? What do you know that I don't know? So that story is on page 3 of The Spectator, your weekend companion. A bit of it reads, Christmas in Ghana is a unique and special time. It is often characterized with music, dance, and feasting. It's time when families, loved ones, and communities bond over music, foods, and drinks. As is always the case, the countdown to the festive occasion has begun as Ghanaians gear up to celebrate the festive season in style across the country. People are rushing to acquire gifts, decorations, foodstuff, and all the trappings of the season. As shoppers navigate the crowded stalls, the sounds of Christmas carols and haggling fill the air. I love Christmas and all the fun that comes with it. It's one time of the year when everyone comes together to celebrate. That's a student who stayed anonymous in this story. Okay, let me come down here. Families hoping to buy festive essentials such as food items, decorations, and gifts were among those affected. We came early to beat the rush, but the shops were still closed because the owner was stuck in traffic, said one frustrated shopper. Others abandoned their plans altogether, citing the delays as a dampener on the holiday mood. It emerged that shoes, bags, and dresses were sold for low and discounted prices to enable individuals to shop without stress. Traders told The Spectator that sales have been better and stronger this year compared. Hey, this is the first time I've heard traders actually say that sales are better this year as compared to 2024, with prices of staple goods seeing some drop in prices. Interesting. And the story continues on page 12 and 13. So it's the last minute shopping that you guys are doing that's making the traffic come to town. Next time, shop early, because why? How do you make us sit in traffic for over an hour? Don't go to town. If you have somewhere to go, you better leave early, because to be honest with you, it's not fun sitting in traffic, and I'm sure you can all agree with that. All right, let's move on to the Mirror, Ghana's most popular weekend paper. There's a picture of Salassi Ibrahim here, and the story is on page 10. Let me quickly dash to page 10. It's talking about how she is a force behind African cinema, and I'm guessing it has to do with the RIFA Awards that was held earlier this month. So the story reads, Salassi Ibrahim brings years of experience and authority to bear wherever she goes. With over 3 decades in front of and behind the camera, combined with strong business insight, she has become a key figure in African cinema. This influence is further strengthened by her current role as executive director of the Regal Film Festival and Awards. Beyond acting, Mrs. Ibrahim is a filmmaker, entrepreneur, and advocate who is actively contributing to the growth of the African film industry. This became evident when RIFA held its maiden awards night on December 13, 2025, marking a major milestone for the Continental Festival she envisioned. And there's a picture of her here with Ablaji Fagumashi, Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and Mr. Thomas Swaneker. He's the executive chairman of Fani Group. And there are other pictures of her here. And for those who went for RIFA, I understand that it was a very interesting and well-attended award. And Nigerian actors as well as Ghanaian actors were all there. And so that's something interesting that happened. And she's being celebrated by the Mirror. Now, I have the Daily Guide, and I'm definitely going to read this story. So, government has renamed 3 universities. Now, you know, the previous government had renamed some universities okay, let me read a bit of that story. So, Parliament has passed 3 amendment bills seeking to rename selected public universities despite strong opposition from the minority, which described the changes as unnecessary and politically motivated. The bills, all read for the 3rd time and approved yesterday, that's Friday, amend the establishing acts of the Akenteng Apiamenkan University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development, the Simon Dedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, and the C.K. Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. Under the First Amendment, the Akenteng Apiamenkan University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development, established by Act 1026 in August 2020, will now be known as the University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development Kumasi. Now, the government, they argue that the revised name better reflects the institution's mission and geographic identity while strengthening engagement with stakeholders to boost enrollment, funding, and alumni support. The House also approved amendments to changing the Simon Didong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies of University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. So on and on and on. Some universities have changed names. There's a funny thing happening on social media where people are asking, so if you have a degree from any of these universities, does your degree still hold? Or if someone asks you, so what's your alma mater, what do you say? Do you say, I went to Akanta Piamenka University, or you say, I went to the University of Skills Training and Development Studies in Kumasi? But I'm saying, mention the name as is now, as is recognized by the Constitution of Ghana, because it has been changed. All right, let's do a different paper, the Daily Graphic, and it has our president calling for a united African front, and he said this yesterday at the Diaspora Summit. A bit of the story: President John Dramani Mahama has called on Africans and members of the diaspora across the world to stand united in their pursuit for reparative justice and the elimination of false narratives about Africa. The president said it was about time Africans flipped the narratives and modus operandi of those who had distorted the African story to suit their interest and to divide Africans. Anything in this life, once stripped of its power, will no longer work. That is true of stories, especially ones that are complete fabrications. Let's take the narrative of those who oppressed us and work it. In fact, let's take their entire modus operandi and flip it and reverse it. I urge you, my brothers and sisters, let's be more intentional about our unity than they were about our division, he said. President Mahama was speaking at the Diaspora Summit at the Accra International Conference yesterday. It was on the theme, Resetting Ghana. Let me read that last one. Resetting Ghana, the diaspora as the 17th region. And the president has affirmed that with a common purpose, Africans and members of the diaspora would achieve their goal no matter how they must have been divided, adding that we've always tried to find our way back to one another. And the story goes on and on and on. And if you come to page 5, it has a picture of the president, the government chair, and other dignitaries who were present at the Diaspora Summit. So those are some of the stories you'll find. Well, we're taking a quick break. When I return, though, we have What's Happening, where I get to tell you what's happening in town.